Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is my second take of this video, how to remake this one. Went back and looked at some of my classes here. Not my classes, but my bike setups. Was going to give y'all some good tips and tricks on this. Right now, this is some good setups I can give you all for the RMZ 450 for those of you that have it, and this also works for the Blaze. You can run the FMF with factory connection suspension, FMF carbon. My favorite is running the Yoshimura titanium. Good starter setup always is the TI4R Pro Circuit pipe, Maxxis SI tires, or no, if you're actually Maxxis SI tires. Factory connection suspension. If you're gonna run that Pro Circuit pipe, they'll run Pro Circuit suspension. Run Pro Circuit. That's a good starter setup class to get you fast and get you used to the bike. Always run stock brakes on every bike. It's always a good thing to run. That'll be for the Suzuki and for the Blaze here. As you see, I don't have the Blaze all that much here. I have my other bikes, but for most people, they have the Cowie. The setup for that would be you want to run the Pro Circuit TI4R pipe, or you want to run the Yoshimura carbon. If not that, try the Leo vents. See, tires. For tires, I would recommend running the ITs if you want. That's what I'd recommend for the Cowie. Suspension wise, run factory connection or 4PR performance. Those would probably be my favorite for this bike, and they just always seem to work. My most favorite, but the hardest one to find a ride, especially around most tracks, is the RG3. But I have a lot of fast laps with it. It's just the fact of getting good with it. Stock brakes again. That's pretty much it for the Cowie. Most of the setups are really close to each other, you see, but they work differently in what suspension and pipes you use together on the bikes. If you ride it, the Yamaha 250, my setup is FMF factory carbon, Maxxis IT tires, and 4PR performance. Only other thing I'd run other than this would be Enzo for the Yamaha. Stock brakes too on that one. KTM, hands down, best setup. Never found one better than it. FMF factory carbon, Maxxis SI tires with factory connection suspension. That is hands down the best setup I've found for this bike. Factory chassis, stock brakes, hands down best setup. Like I've said, a lot of records broken with this, a lot of lap times put down, a lot of people picked up their speed with that. The Honda's kind of tricky because you can run pretty much anything on the Honda and it still be good. It just depends what you're better with. I like the Leo vents and the Pro Circuits honestly on it. Other than that, I'd run Yoshimura titanium. Run Sedona tires. It's probably the best for this bike. Suspension wise, you either want to run Enzo or 4PR performance or Pro Action. Pro Action and factory connection probably my favorite for it. Factory chassis, stock brakes. Other than that, it's just whatever you want to put on the bike. The last thing I'll show in this, and yes, this will be the last thing. I don't do ATVs. I ride them still a little bit, but I've got friends that ride them more than I do, so I can maybe talk to them one day and have them talk in the videos, help you guys out with that more if you're an ATV rider. The last bike I'll show is the 125s. My favorite being the Blaze. To me, it's the best 125 there is. Not really much is going to beat it. Let's see, I run the FMF Shorty. Only other pipe I'd recommend would be the 304R by Pro Circuit. A lot of people run the Power Core. To me, that pipe just bogs a lot. It does not have a whole lot of power. It don't really have a whole lot of pull and a whole lot of top speed. Run SX tires for Maxxis on your 125s. That's what I recommend. I find you keep your momentum up more, you get more speed through your turns. Enzo is definitely the best suspension. It's got the most lift out of any of the suspension, most rebound and stuff. So you really want to run an Enzo on your 125s to get you actually up off the jumps in the air where you can clear stuff, especially if you scrub a lot like me. Factory chassis, stock brakes again. The rest of it is personal preference. That's what you want on the bike. Other than that, not really a whole lot to tell you. I'm going to switch back to my bike here and I'll show you some good rider skills to use. I'll try out my Suzuki setup that I like, and I'll show you all why I like it. Now, most of these setups, you'll have to get used to. Most of them is just basically learning and getting better at them is how you'll get good with them. Another thing to add to this also, I know my YouTube videos don't really have the best quality, but that's because I film with a laptop. Like I said, not the best quality, but I am getting a recorder soon, hopefully. The best things to use for these, I'll go ahead and tell y'all, make scrub more effective by lowering your jump trajectory when you scrub. Scrub Master, the reason that helps is it gets you lower and you can also go further. So that way you don't have to worry about scrub braking, over whipping as much, like you can whip further back without getting a reflex arrow. That's always a good perk to have. Clutch Master, increase the boost you get from using the clutch. That really helps throughout the track on any bike. My favorite gives you special boost at the start of the race. To be honest, I use that on a 450 more than anything because you don't really need Clutch Master much because you're using your momentum of the bike and carrying your speed, so you don't need to clutch as much. You only really need to clutch as long as it takes for the clutch bar to fill up when you're not using Clutch Master, because everyone knows the boost fills up faster when you're using that. And whole shot boost, I don't know if it really does. My belief, it gives you more acceleration come out of a turn. You all can test that, judge it for yourselves. Other than that, there's not really much else you really need. Not much else. Not really anything on your rider matters. Just depends on, I guess, what you want to wear. But that's pretty much the best bike setups I can give you all. It's a good tips and tricks video. If y'all like it, drop a like button, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.